Good, well, the day's young.
Shave him up.
Go downhill. Go downhill.
All right, I have 9 o'clock. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone, and welcome to the October 28th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. Madam Clerk, first item, please.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would move for approval of the consent agenda, but I do have one question. It's regarding the sheriff on number A1.
Okay, good.
Morning, Commissioners. Captain Hubler, Shawnee County Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Captain.
Morning. On the consent agenda on number A1, this is a contract with the North Topeka Animal Veterinarian Services, Animal Clinic, sorry.
Yes.
How does this differ from what we have with the Helping Hands Humane Shelter? Or is this in addition to, or?
This is in addition to the North Topeka Animal Clinic does the quarantines for rabies and also does the process if an animal has to be tested for rabies.
Okay, that was my question.
That's what this contract is for.
All right, very good. With that answered, I would move for approval.
Okay, there is a motion to approve by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one set of vouchers dated October 25th, 2013, in the total amount of $1,082,894.96, and I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers as presented.
Thank you. There's a motion by Commissioner Archer,
Second?
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 2, consider correction orders.
Move approval.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Bueller, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Item B, Kansas Expo Center. Number 1, consider approval of capital expenditure requests for A, replacement of water pump clutch on Zamboni in an amount of $1,251.31. B, payment to Daktronics for service calls in an amount of $1,837.50. C, repair of the fan shaft and bearing kit in ice plant cooling tower in an amount of $3,628.67. D, replacement of compressor in the True brand reach-in refrigerator in the Center Cafe in an amount of $690. E, repair of 2 walk-in beer coolers in an amount of $1,151. F, repair of 2 ride-on floor scrubbers in an amount of $2,750. And G, purchase of new concert stage in an amount of $99,958 and permission to sell the current stage.
Good morning, Commissioners. H.R. Cook, General Manager, Kansas Expo Center. I have a very lengthy list this morning. If you have any questions regarding the items other than the stage, I'll be more than happy to answer those now. I'm sure you'd want to take that separate.
I think they're all together, so
Okay,
go
all
ahead.
right, very good.
Go ahead.
Our request today is to replace our current stage, which is a Winger Corporation stage. It is 27 years old, the original stage. As was pointed out in the Capitol Journal this morning, we've had a quite lengthy list of performers that have been on there. What wasn't listed on there was also all of the local events, such as the high school graduations, where if you calculate 6 graduations per weekend over the course of about 25 years, we've had about 150 local high school graduations, along with the county fair and other things. We set this stage up probably about 12 times a year. Currently, it takes approximately 10 people, about 5.5 hours to set up. It is now becoming a very cumbersome stage, very heavy. We do have we have about 5 or 6 injuries on this stage a year through pinch points and lifting and, just real basic injuries. But I have for our entertainment today, we've put together, this is part of a time-lapse video that we have on our website regarding about 6 events that we did in 5 days a couple years ago. This particular event is the Carrie Underwood concert, where it shows where we've set up our stage, and everything on here is backwards. This shows stage being set up in the end over ice. You're seeing the 12 guys. All the pieces have to be forklift out. You can see all the mismatched colors. Those are the pieces that we've had to replace. The decking from heavy equipment going through the decking, having to replace that. When they put the thrust on, that is actually a stage right thrust that the group brought themselves. You can see how fast it goes up and connects onto our stage. We skipped the concert completely. But you can see the amount of equipment and things that goes on the stage. And the amount of work that it takes to put up the stage and take down the stage. Of course, it takes a lot less time to bring it down. It's 2 hours and 8 minutes. The other, help me out.
Mine's out. Upper right-hand corner.
And this one is from their factory. I lost it there. It's a basic frame that rolls out, lightweight, no forklift needed. 2 people can set up the stage. Comes with floating platforms that set on top of the brackets themselves. They roll it out, extend it out, lock it into place, put the decks on. We can set up a stage, not in 5 hours, but it takes about 2 people about 2 hours to set up. So you have a considerable amount of labor savings. We've had acts and promoters that have been very weary lately of putting acts on our stage due to the potential for collapse. They've had some wingers collapse, but we do feel that this stage does have some life left in it for a school, a college, a church, a smaller arena or theater that may not be utilizing their stage as often as we do. So with that, we do request a purchase through Stage Right Corporation. This is through SMG pricing. Our corporate, it's actually a little bit less than our corporate office can get, because it's year-end pricing of the $99,958 from Stage Right Corporation. This price is good, probably this month, and it will go up again, probably about $120,000 after the first year. Be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, HR. It helps to see that displayed. What about the permission to sell the current stage?
We're asking permission to solicit. It could be on Blue Wave. It could be through our network, the Association of Arena Managers. We have a website that can be set up to solicit bids. We're asking any funds that are paid for the purchase of the stage be rolled back into our capital expenditure fund. And we're not expecting much, but every little bit helps.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any questions? Anyone in the audience wanting to comment on this item or any of the items? Okay.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Having had an opportunity to witness firsthand the takedown, I went down after the Jeff Dunham concert and watched the presentation by our expo staff as they took down the stage and put all the equipment away. I saw the issues that were pointed out by Mr. Cook during the presentation. I would move for approval of these capital expenditures.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook. I'll second the motion. Discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you very much.
C, Health Agency, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-504-2013 for training of navigators by KMU to assist patients in accessing the health insurance marketplace at no cost to the county.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alice Weingartner, Health Agency. This agreement before you is for work that has already taken place. We have partnered with KMU for the training of our navigators. If you recall, back in July, we received funding through the Outreach and Enrollment Supplemental Funding from HRSA for this purpose, and then our state association also received funding. And so we have been able to partner with them and use some local resources for training the individuals who are helping educate and inform the folks about the health insurance marketplace. As it's noted, there's no cost associated with this agreement. Through this agreement, there will be ongoing technical assistance available to our folks who are helping with the health insurance marketplace enrollment. And then we do report to them basically the number of people that we're assisting through the process, whether it's through phone calls, whether it's through presentations, and we may even get to the point where it's actually enrolling for insurance. And I'd be happy to answer questions. I have brought for each of you a packet of information that we're using with from the Kansas Insurance Department, and this is information that we're able to share with the public as well. But it covers a variety of items, including what is understanding the marketplace, information about health insurance. It talks about Medicare and the impact of the health insurance marketplace, how it affects small businesses, job-based coverage, and the Affordable Care Act. And then there is a product in here that is in Spanish as well. So I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
All right, thank you, Alice. Other questions? Yes, Commissioner Archer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have a question for the county counselor, if I may. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I had correspondence with Alice over the weekend, and she indicated that the training had already taken place. It had to prior to October 1. I guess I don't understand why we have to authorize this contract now that performance has already occurred.
Well, there's still going to be ongoing performance. If I understand, this is the navigators. It's your job to help people who might need assistance navigating their way through the website in the future. So their performance is actually going to start, but it should have started when the website became operative, the HealthGov and all that mess. You're going to need more navigators from what we've all been reading, but their performance is going to increase over time.
But shouldn't this have been approved before performance began on the contract?
I always prefer that. I always prefer that. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and there's various reasons for that.
Okay, and now we're going to provide additional training for something that doesn't work.
I can address that.
Well, that really sounded like a question with no answer, but give it a try.
Well, I think the point is that right now what the staff is doing is they are providing information about the marketplace and what the marketplace will do for them. The problem with what's happening with the technical aspect of the marketplace is kind of a secondary thing, and as that marketplace performance improves, our staff will continue to be trained on how the technical aspect of it works as well. But right now, our focus is the informational component of it.
I don't usually advertise this, but I do have friends that are in the IT world, and they have surveyed the situation, and they're telling me that we're at least 2 years from end-to-end functionality for the website and the issuance of health insurance. So until we get further on, I'm going to vote no against this contract. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Alice, the navigators are there for support for the community, for citizens, for them to try to figure out how to
That is
navigate
correct.
through
They're there
this
to be a
system.
partner with
Right.
individuals as
They-
they work through the health insurance marketplace.
Right, and this agreement continues then to keep us up to date on what is going on
Correct, correct.
with the system.
That is correct. And again, it gives us a partner with several of our state associations who are also part of this arrangement, so that we're providing a consistent message across the state, and we don't have, conflicting messages. We're
Right.
making sure that those navigators are helping people consistently. So if we have a person in Topeka who moves to Wichita, they're gonna have the same information. They're gonna have access to the same information. So it's providing for continuity, it's providing for consistency, and being part of this collaboration.
Right. While it may not be perfect, it's an attempt to
Exactly.
at least be informed.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would note that I have previously made the same maybe concerns or objections to contracts for past performance in relation to, I think, Parks and Rec activities. But this is a contract, if I read, that is at no cost to the county. We are just basically acknowledging our participation in the grant, and it's being actually administered by other entities. And so this is just acknowledging our communication or our participation, rather,
Exactly. Thank
with
you.
the grant as it continues through August of 14. And so I would move for approval of the
Mhm. There's a motion by Commissioner Cook. Second that motion. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 2-1. Commissioner Archer dissenting.
Number 2, consider approval of an application for grant funding for the Medical Reserve Corps in an amount that will not exceed $3,500.
Commissioners, this request before you, we, as is noted in the memo, we have been operating our Medical Reserve Corps program since 2002. And each year, we have had access to some additional supplemental funding for this program. And this request is for us to submit for that annual supplemental funding. And is, as noted in the application, the highest award you could receive is $3,500, which is what we're pursuing.
Thank you, Alice. I'll move approval.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 3, consider authorization and execution of contract C 505-2013 with Hickok and Associates LLC for laboratory director services at a cost of $550 per month.
Commissioners, as noted on this memo, this is a renewal contract for services through Hickok and Associate. We are required to have this level of oversight for our lab services. And we are inspected every 2 years. There's policies and procedure review. And we've worked with this individual for a number of years and who's provided a wonderful level of service for us. So we'd like to continue that arrangement.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
And second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries. Thank you, Alice.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item D, Public Works, Solid Waste. Number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 506-2013 with Douglas County Rural Water District Number 3 to relocate or adjust its facility for the southeast Croco Road over unnamed tributary to the Strain branch of Lynn Creek at a cost of $5,680.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Block with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is a Public Works item. As mentioned in the memo, we will be embarking upon a large culvert replacement project. And as part of that project, there are some utilities owned by Douglas County Rural Water District Number 3. Just to give a little bit of refresher, when utilities are located within the right-of-way, utility companies are responsible to move those at their own cost. When utilities are outside of the right-of-way, within their own private easement, and if we require them to be relocated, then we take up the cost for that. That is the case in this project. Rural Water District Number 3 has some water lines outside of the existing right-of-way in their own easement, so we need to bear the cost to have them relocated. We've been in communication with them. They indicated their cost to do so would be $5,680. The funding from this cost would come from the special bridge fund, and there would be no detrimental budget implications by approving this contract. So it's our recommendation that this contract be approved, and we have Douglas County Rural Water District Number 3 relocate their facilities. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
I have none.
Motion to
Questions?
approve the contract.
It's a motion to approve by
Second.
Commissioner Cook and second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 2, consider approval of request to provide funding to Keep America Beautiful in an amount of $45,000.
Commissioners, as you all know, Felicia McKee, who is Executive Director of Chapter of Keep America Beautiful here locally, Shawnee County Solid Waste historically has provided some funding assistance for their operations due to the efforts that she does and her organization does in helping keep Topeka and Shawnee County as clean as possible. And being that Shawnee County Solid Waste is, I guess, the largest local-based solid waste provider, we feel it's one way that we can give back to the community in other ways than just providing trash and recycling service. And so that is why we have provided some funding for her operations. And we believe, and I personally believe, that the benefits we get back from this contribution far outweigh the costs that we actually get to her operation. So it's our recommendation, and we have included this in the budget for next year, and we are currently funding $45,000 for the current year, but this would be for next year's operations. But it's our recommendation that we grant them $45,000 to their operations, and the funding from this, again, would come from the Solid Waste Department, $35,000 from one of our funds and $10,000 from another one of our funds. But again, with it being from solid waste, there would be no tax revenues because solid waste is a user fee-based enterprise. So if there's any questions regarding this, I'd be happy to try to answer them. And maybe if you have any questions for Felicia, she is here in the audience, and she may be able to assist if there's
Okay.
any questions that I can't answer.
Thank you, Tom, and we did have discussion about this during budget as well, so I don't think this comes as a surprise for the amount. Are there questions or comments?
Madam Chair, my only comment would be, during the budget process and also during other commission meetings, Keep America Beautiful has detailed the amount of community partnerships, the contributions received, the volunteer hours, and the dollar amount that we get back for our investment is just astonishing. And as this is a very successful program, it was part of the budget, is built in, and I'd move for approval.
Thank you. The amount was 14 million.
14.69 million is what
Was
I
the
got from
benefit, yeah.
annual report.
Okay. There's a motion by Commissioner Cook. Yes, Commissioner Archer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have known Felicia for a number of years, worked with her on city council, and Commissioner Cook is correct. There's probably no organization in Topeka, or maybe even the state of Kansas, that leverages dollars better than Keep America Beautiful. Having said that, I'm going to make a motion that we make the amount $40,500. We have cut about everybody and everywhere by 10%. And I think, to be fair and consistent, we need to also cut our contribution to Keep America Beautiful. So painfully, I'll make a substitute motion that we approve $40,500.
I'm going to second Commissioner Cook's motion for the full amount, correct?
Yes.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no.
No.
Motion carries 2-1. Commissioner Archer dissenting.
Number 3, consider approval of request to waive the resolution for the sale of surplus items and authorize the Public Works Solid Waste Department to draft an agreement to a recycling baler directly to VIM Recyclers of Kansas City, Kansas for $10,000 in revenue.
Commissioners, Tom Block again with Public Works and Solid Waste. This is a solid waste item. And with the implementation of the curbside recycling program, we no longer have a use of a baler that we used to use when we, or prior to the curbside program. And one of the companies we worked with prior to when we baled our own equipment was VIM. They have indicated that they could have a use for that baler machine, and so has another company, I believe in Wisconsin somewhere. But so we spoke with both of them to see what kind of interest there was. VIM has come back and offered us $10,000 for our piece of equipment. That would essentially, we recoup everything we've put into that machine, which is now sitting idle. We have no more use for. So is our recommendation, as opposed to just sticking it on the county website, listing on the county website for surplus, we believe this is a very reasonable amount, and probably more than we could get if we put it on the website, because it's the amount of folks that could actually use this are very limited. So it's our recommendation that we write up a purchase agreement or a sale agreement with VIM for $10,000 and sell them the piece of equipment. So if there's any questions regarding this, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Tom. Are there questions?
Motion to approve the sale.
Second.
So motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Item E, Information Technology, number 1. Consider authorization and execution of contract C-507-2013 for annual maintenance with the state of Kansas for the election voter information systems workstations used at the elections office in an amount of $12,500.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pat O'Blain with the Information Technology Department. This is a renewal for the annual maintenance for the election voter information systems workstations that are in use at the elections office. This year, the renewal will be $12,500. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have at this point.
Motion to approve.
Second.
So motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion say aye, opposed no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Administrative Communications.
Any administrative communications today? Reminder that we do not have our meeting on Thursday. We will be at a conference. Commissioner
Thank you,
Archer.
Madam Chair. I just wanted to make sure that it's publicized that next Monday, November the 4th, from 5:30 until 7:30 at the Holiday Building at 620 Southeast Madison, there will be a discussion of the half-cent sales tax that's currently used for economic development, and I think it's important that people show up and provide input and guidance. I know the county commissioners will be there. I'm sure there will be representatives from the city. And I just think it's important that people show up and give us direction on the future of the half-cent sales tax. So, thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair,
Mm.
I'd just like to note that it was good to see Washburn win this weekend,
Yes, it was.
led by a Bueller. And also good to see that Commissioner Archer was able to make it out to the game, in addition to Commissioner Bueller and myself. Although not sporting the school colors, I'm sure that, he was there cheering them on.
Those aluminum seats are hard, I will tell you that.
Yeah, it was a good day. Lots
It was
of
a good
good
day.
team effort as well defensively. And the parade was interesting. Washburn Tech had a lot of really great
Yes,
floats.
that's right.
As did the others, I'm
Yeah.
sure, that you contributed to, but it was really interesting. So anyway, good day.
Commissioners, Tom Block again with Public Works and Solid Waste. Being that Saturday will be the first Saturday of the month, I just wanted to let people know that the household hazardous waste facility will be open this Saturday from 9 to noon for collection of household hazardous waste materials.
Hard to believe it's already November coming up, it's quick. Okay, anything else? Next item, please.
Executive sessions.
And there is a need for a period not to exceed 10 minutes for non-elected personnel and consult with legal. And that's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. No action anticipated.
days when I start going down.
All right, we are back in session, no action required. We are adjourned. Any for Commissioner Archer or Cook? No? All me?
All right.
Okay.